What's up, guys? Welcome to the Stats Free Sports channel. I'm your host, Jarrell Hicks, here to bring you another NFL live stream. We do this every Monday. Excuse me. Every Monday for the most part. As we always start, where to find Stats Free Sports on social media. Stats Free Sports is the handle for all social media: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, wherever social media you have. Just searching Stats Free Sports. If I pop up with this logo you see here, that's me. If it's not, then it's not me. Social media, like I said, same handle. Stats Free Sports, Stats Free Sports Podcast, Stats Free Sports YouTube channel, all that good stuff. The Stats Free Sports Podcast can be found on all major podcast platforms except for Pandora and iHeart currently, iHeartRadio, but they were in the works of being on those sites soon. But yeah, Stats Free Sports, here we go, man. NFL live stream. Let's get it started. Week 16 content. Week 16 recap. Excuse me. Before we can start with that though, Dwayne Haskins. I guess we'll start with the Washington football team and their game versus who was it? The Panthers, I believe. If I'm not mistaken. Yep, Panthers. They lost 20-13. He was benched third quarter ish, somewhere around that range. Replaced for Tyler Heineke. I'm from Virginia, former ODU's quarterback. If I'm not mistaken, I think he was. Yeah, former ODU quarterback a couple years ago. I think was picked up by the Vikings. Got cut a couple years ago. Now he's with the Washington football team. Excuse me, trying to stop saying that name. And he might start next week. Alex Smith is suspected to be back, but you never know. Injury history he's had, and a little bit banged up. First year back playing full time, could be more banged up than what we think. So Tyler Heineke might get more playing time than what we think going into next week. But Dwayne Haskins, 14 for 28, 154, 2 interceptions. Looked terrible. Looked terrible all year. Looked terrible last year as well. Cut after his second year. Was he a top 5 pick, I believe? Dwayne Haskins, I think was top 5 pick. And this to me was worse than Josh Rosen. Josh Rosen had a legit sorry team. Like his O-line was sorry for the Cardinals that year. He had no weapons. Fitzgerald hasn't been Larry Fitzgerald, the elite receiver, in a long time. No disrespect to him. And Josh Rosen had no weapons, no defense, no nothing. He was literally in a hellhole, and he got cut after that first year. Head coaching change, all that stuff happened. That wasn't, to me, in my opinion, his fault. Dwayne Haskins, from the get-go, didn't really care. So it seemed. The rumor was coming out of training camp his first year last year, he wasn't really into the playbook as he should have. Had a terrible rookie year. Fast forward this year, I thought he'd be better. Not great, but a pretty good defensive line. Heavy rotation. Jonathan Allen, Montez Sweat, Chase Young. What's the D tackle name? I can't remember his name. Ignitis, something like that. Jonathan Allen. What other D tackle? Payne. They have a lot of guys who can, pass rush. Ryan Kerrigan's still there. Defense is pretty solid. Terry McLaurin's there. Scary Terry. Okay offensive weapons. He had a squad. He has a team, and he's talented, but Haskins just couldn't get his head in the game, so it seemed. After 2 years, top 5 pick, I believe, at least top 10 for sure. Might have been. Did he drop in the draft? I might be, but I don't know. Oh, cause I know the meme, the thing going around now saying he's gonna prove everyone wrong and the team's gonna pay that passed on. Let me see. So I don't remember how he was drafted. What pick? Let me see. Let me see. Let me Google. My bad, guys, for the delay. Let me just see where he was picked up at. He was 15th. Okay, yeah, okay. 15th. I know he dropped a little bit. I know it said top 5 earlier, but I knew he dropped a little tiny bit. But yeah, man, and the way it seems, to be honest, his career might be at an end. To be honest, I mean, I don't know where he would go to. My first bet, just off the top of the head, no thinking about it, no real, intelligent thinking behind this, except a little bit, I guess. My first bet, if I had to put my money on one place, I would say Las Vegas Raiders. John Gruden loves quarterbacks, as we all know. He was a quarterback camp guy at ESPN for years before he came back into coaching, and got that sweet contract from the Raiders. Um, he might, want to develop him a little bit potentially. He's a self-proclaimed, I guess, kind of a quarterback guru type of guy, I guess. And he might think he can fix him. With the former guy Mike Mayock there, the former scout. I don't know how he felt about Dwayne Haskins coming out of the draft. I don't remember exactly, but and I think John Gruden was with the Raiders by that time, so he didn't get to do quarterback camp with Haskins. But um, I could definitely see him coming in, cheap deal, 1 year deal, prove it deal, show your heads in the game, show you're in the playbook, and be a backup behind Derek Carr. Derek Carr isn't really injury prone, but he does miss a couple games here and there, a little bit banged up, can start a game, won't finish all the time. That's any quarterback really, but really, Derek Carr is one of those guys who more prone to do that, get banged up out for the rest of the game. Backup comes in. I could definitely see uh, Dwayne Haskins filling in that role in Las Vegas, potentially. That's probably the number one fit I go. I have in my mind maybe Pittsburgh, maybe. He's not a small guy, not the same build as Big Ben, but he's no solid size, 6'3", 6'4", good arm, talented, mobile. He can go on the run. He's a good talent, man. Just couldn't get his head right. Then went to the strip club and all that stuff. Ain't nothing wrong with that in my opinion. But maskless and all that stuff. Just got too much. Just got too much. Why's my phone going off? Just got too much though. But yeah. So that's tough to see, but he got welcome to the real world fast, and you think you might have 3-4 years like other quarterbacks, but you don't. And the way he carry yourself, sometimes can get you out here faster than what you think. And he looked so lethargic, not caring, on the sidelines. And the reports came out, like I said early on, wasn't really caring about the playbook, wasn't into it as much as he should be, and things like that. So it is what it is, man. But on to some NFL Week 16 games. I guess we'll start with tonight's game, ending Week 16, the Buffalo Bills versus the Patriots. You know how I feel about this, man. I'm a Buffalo Bill guy, not a fan, but I'm very high on them this year. Also have my NFL power rankings list coming tonight as well for Week 16. The Bills are up there. They're definitely. I'm leaning towards 3 right now. I think they're number 3. But before I go there, I'll recap this game. I'll preview this game. Bills and Patriots should be a blowout. To be honest, I know Stephon Gilmore should be playing for the Patriots. I know he missed a couple games here and there, COVID and injury, whatever. But I think he's playing tonight. I'm not a big believer in Cam Newton. I've been saying that for a couple years now. I really do think the Bills are going to blow them out the water. If not, doesn't matter. I'm still high on the Bills. But Josh Allen should wreck this defense, who not at full strength. They lost like 8-9 guys due to COVID before the season even started. They didn't want to play the season. So this defense wasn't what it was. Still solid, though. It gave Tua trouble, gave other guys trouble. But I think Josh Allen should be fine. But the Bills don't have a running game. That's the thing. So, Devin Singletary and the other running back hasn't really been that good this year, to be honest. But yeah, I think they should be fine. Outside of throwing at Stephon Gilmore, they should be fine. And the way Stephon Diggs is playing, they might not care about Stephon Gilmore being there or not. He might still be there covering them, and he's gonna still try his hand. So I like the Bills all the way tonight. Let's see. Recap some games. Do a quick hits. Already did the Washington football team versus the Panthers. Let's see. Vikings Saints. The Alvin Kamara showed 6 touchdowns. Not really much to talk about there. Vikings got smashed. Bucks and Lions. Not gonna overreact. Even though I'm happy to see the Bucks winning, and I had them early in the season as my Super Bowl favorites for the NFC. I'm not gonna overreact. Matt Stafford left in the first quarter, if I'm not mistaken. Lions aren't. They're not. I think they're the worst team in the NFC North. The Vikings, but yeah, they're definitely the worst team in NFC North. They got smacked around today. Saturday. No big surprise. The Buccaneers look good, and like I said, man, they haven't had the best season, or just any team. Them, the Colts, the Browns. But if you can get hot around this time and get a good streak going and get a good, couple wins on your belt, good confidence streak going, you never know what can happen. And that's my thing the whole season with the Bucks. I saw them struggling here and there. They'll come one week, show up one week, not show up next week, whatever, next couple of weeks, barely win, get lucky and win or whatever. But it's all about getting hot. That's what it's all about. We know that from Eli Manning and the Giants, those 2 years winning the Super Bowl. You get in as a wild card, you get hot, get favorable matchups, and you get it and you get it done. This Bucks team is solid. Great offense when they get going. Defense is cool. It's not as good as I thought that they would be, but they could definitely, make a run if they get hot and get going and get good chemistry going on. Niners versus Cardinals. The Cardinals really broke my heart this year, man. I think they're out the playoff hunt, to be honest. They're in the hunt, but I think they might be out the wild card spot, 8-7. The Cardinals, man, really broke my heart. I like them a lot going into the season. I had DeAndre Hopkins, and Kyler Murray was the MVP favorite for like a week or two. And I had them. I made videos on them. I made posts about them, podcast episode about them, big portion of the podcast episode saying they're the future. They're going to run the league for 2 or 3 years. And ever since that video around week 4 or 5, they just started going down, down, down. And the Cardinals seemingly to be out the playoffs, potentially. I'm not sure exactly, but I think they might be out, maybe. Or they got win out or whatever. But yeah, man, lost to the Niners. George Kittle came back, had a pretty good day, 4 catches around 90 yards. Good for him. The Niners had a pretty good year too, being hit by injury pretty hard, losing Nick Bosa first game. Losing a couple other guys, George Kittle as well, just coming back now from injury. But yeah, they had a pretty good year to not, be at full strength. Lost their quarterback a few weeks back. So they played pretty good to finish the season strong. Dolphins, Raiders. As I said in my podcast episode, you can listen to it now. Came out yesterday. Stat Street Sports Podcast on all major podcast platforms. It's no real. To me personally, is no competition at quarterback. I like how they're doing it now. If Tua's a starting quarterback for sure. If Tua starts to struggle, bring in Fitzpatrick. And it hasn't seemed so far to damage Tua's psyche, his mental, hasn't had him off his game. Tua's a game manager right now. He's still a rookie, and I know Tua played well early on and went undefeated, 2-0, 3-0, whatever, said the league is easy, all that stuff. But it's not, and he's not slinging the ball that well as of right now. He's okay, but he's not letting it fly like I wish he would, or like I think that he eventually could. So when Fitzpatrick gets in, he's a veteran. He's a bridge quarterback. He's there for a reason. He's gonna let it go. He's gonna let it fly, good or bad. He's gonna throw that thing around like nobody else can. So he reminds me of like not a poor man, but a lesser version of Nick Foles. Less accomplished. Nick Foles played the same way and won a Super Bowl title versus Tom Brady a couple years back with the Eagles. Now, Fitzpatrick haven't been on a good enough team as that Eagles team was, or whatever. Got lucky to be in a situation, but he's a similar guy to me. Nick Foles, Fitzpatrick, kind of in the same vein to me. they'll get back there, they'll let it fly, And like I said, when the Dolphins get in the playoffs, the same thing happens. The first half, Tua struggling, the game is close. Bring in Fitzpatrick and let him give him a spark plug. Might be good, might be bad, but he's gonna do stuff Tua can't do or won't do right now. So I'm fine with it. It's no controversy to me. I like how it is. Dual quarterback system. If Tua's good, you're good. If Tua's struggling or the offense is stagnant, bring in Fitzmagic. He's going to do his thing. Not mad at it. Not really concerned about Tua. He seems fine about it, so I'm cool with it. Ravens, Giants. Ravens win pretty easy. Lamar looks good. I still have the Ravens as playoff pretenders, not contenders, but pretenders. I don't have them going too much further in the playoffs than the first round, to be honest. Jets and Browns. What in the world? Jets win 2-0. They are officially out of the first overall pick spot. The Jags got it, so they're getting Trevor Lawrence. I guess the Jets, maybe this little win streak that they finished 3-0 in the finish the season, they might keep Sam Darnold now and get Jamar Chase or something like that. We'll see. Or a good wide receiver, Devontae Smith, whatever. I think they should definitely still get rid of Sam Darnold. He's not good in my opinion. Even if you give him a weapon, I still say no. But they beat the Browns pretty handily, man. And like I said, the Browns, they were my off-season winners for the Super Bowl. I had the Browns versus Bucks, and I had the Browns potentially winning. Now I had OBJ there, but the Browns have been playing better without him, so that's a thing. I don't know if it's real or not, if it's just a coincidence or it's a meaning behind it, but they've been playing better without him. The defense is solid. Myles Garrett is still a stud, as we all know. But they're also, like the Ravens and the Steelers, I might say now, are my playoff pretenders. They're good teams, good records. They could make some noise in playoffs, but I think that they won't. Outside of facing each other, I think they'll be out in the first rounds. All three of these teams, if they don't match up against each other, the first game they play, I think they all will be out potentially, depending on the matchup, of course. But yeah, I'm not high on the Browns like that anymore. I had Baker as MVP in the off season, didn't happen. But this loss to the Jets makes me think, okay, I was wrong, but the pretenders list, they're definitely definitely up there. They'll give you 2 straight weeks of being on fire versus good teams, then play the Jets and lose pretty easily. Bears and Jags. Bears win easily. Jags easily the worst team in the league. So none of that we talk about there. Oh well, I guess Mitchell Trubisky might be getting his new deal this offseason. He's been playing okay. The Bears might sneak into the playoffs. What are they? 8-7. I think they're fighting for the wild card. Definitely fighting for the wild card, but I think they have it right now ahead of the Cardinals. But yeah, Mitch Trubisky played well. Against the sorriest team in the league, I might add, but he's been playing well the last couple of weeks. Last few weeks he's been playing well. They brought in Nick Foles to challenge him. Nick Foles got hurt. Trubisky got hurt as well. Came back, started playing better. I don't believe his option was picked up, if I'm not mistaken. So I think he's a free agent this year. I think they might sign him to a long-term deal, man, to be honest. He has potential, man. He's solid. He's solid. He's not bad. I think he's better than Sam Darnold. I think his highest potential he could reach is probably a top 15 quarterback. Somewhere around that range, top 15, top 18 type of quarterback. He's not bad at all. He's mobile, can throw in the run, all that good stuff. Just hasn't really clicked for him as of yet, but I do like Mitchell Trubisky. And I think the Bears do too, kind of, sort of. I think they had to stick with him for at least another year or two to see what he can do. Chiefs and Falcons. My Falcons, I don't care. So, like I keep saying every year, I don't care about the cap room or the salary cap. Trade Julio to a contender. Trade Matt Ryan, and just start over. Like, forget it, bro. Bengals, Texans. I feel bad for J.J. Watt. I feel bad for Deshaun Watson, man. Two seemingly good guys, very good players that are just in the worst situation possible. Texans suck. Lost to the Bengals. I mean, and you see 1 week Deshaun Watson crying on the sideline. The next week you see what's his name, J.J. Watt coming out talking to the media, talking about people giving up and things like that. Man, you know how it go, man. We 4-11 and the season almost over, almost all season time, and time to chill and time to relax. People start to relax and chill and not really care too much. The playoffs aren't in your future, but he's definitely saying keep on fighting, keep on going, and I want to see Deshaun Watson somewhere else. I want to see J.J. Watt somewhere else. I like those two a lot. Very good players, great players, and they're just in the worst situation possible. Especially J.J. Watt, he's in later stage of his career. I'd love to see him maybe join his brother in Pittsburgh, maybe go to Kansas City, Philly. I don't know, somewhere, but definitely out of Houston. Um, Colts and Steelers game. Steelers, my biggest pretender for the entire year. I've been saying this since they were 1-0 to 11-0 to now they're what 12-3, 12-2, whatever. I've been saying this from the get-go. They are not a Super Bowl contending team. Down early, look bad, look terrible. Found a way to come back in the game. Cool, kudos for them. That's cool. Colts also in that pretender category is real as well. Excuse me. I like Phillip Rivers, but too inconsistent his entire career. Good weapons, good team, but the Colts, Steelers, Ravens, and Browns, to me personally, have no shot at winning the title this year. I think honestly, it's just Chiefs, Bills, and Titans, and bust. That's it. I will be highly surprised if the Colts, Steelers, Browns, or Ravens get to the title game this year. I mean, get to the Super Bowl this year. I'll be very surprised. Broncos, Chargers. Herbert broke the rookie passing record for touchdown for a rookie of 28, I believe it was. Had a pretty good year. A lot of turnovers for him, but a pretty good year. I like him a lot. Cowboys, Eagles, saw that game. Looked good for the Eagles early. Jalen Hurts played well the first quarter. Deshaun Jackson came alive for one play. And that was it for him for the entire game. But the Cowboys started spying Hurts, and that was it for that, basically. I love CeeDee Lamb. He's a stud. Michael Gallup played well. He abused that young corner for the Eagles. He abused him early on and often. So, yeah, that was no contest for the Cowboys. Once a third quarter hit, it was definitely over. Seahawks, Rams. Jared Goff potentially out for the year with a thumb injury. He said he wants to return for the playoffs. We'll see. I don't really have them going that far, but this was a pretty good game early on. Pretty slow scoring game early until the Seahawks broke it open later once Goff was out the game. The Seahawks are good, man. They're good. I had them in my pretender list for the NFC. I don't know yet, though. I don't know. Depending on the matchup, depending on if Russell can start playing better, because Russell was, as we all know, the MVP leader early on the first 4 or 5 weeks. Then Russell Wilson took a nosedive and came back down to earth and hasn't been playing that well since. So we'll see what happens with the Seahawks. But I'm not rushing to put them in my NFC pretenders list yet. They might be a real contender. I gotta see one more week of them. Just one more week. I like the team though. The defense gotten better since Jamal Adams has been back. But Russell needs to play better. He hasn't played well in a couple of weeks now, to be honest. So I'm gonna see though. The game of the night I thought it would be didn't happen. Titans versus Packers. Packers blew the doors off the Titans early on. That running game was spectacular. A.J. Dillon out of Boston College, one of my favorite running backs in the draft last year. What's the other running back name for the main running back for the Packers? Aaron Jones, I believe, played great. Both over, I believe Dillon and Jones both over 100 yards. Um, yep. Aaron Jones had 10 carries for 94 yards. AJ Dillon 21 carries for 124 yards. He was a perfect pick by those guys. When it gets snowy, you need a big back. And he's that. What AJ Dillon's about 6'2", 6'3", around 240. I like him a lot at Boston College. Has some speed to him too, not just a big back. He has some speed to him, kind of like a Brandon Jacobs type of guy. And it snows heavy in Lambeau, so the Packers get home field advantage. Snow games, there's going to be a lot of running game for the Packers. And Rodgers played great, only missed 4 throws. One of those 4 throws been an interception. He played awesome. He should be the MVP. Not Adams, excuse me. Adams did play great, though. 11 catches, 142 yards, 3 touchdowns. As I said, though, the Titans defense is sorry. That's the only reason why the Titans make me so nervous. They have no defense. I love the Titans' offense, even though Ryan Tannehill didn't play well through 2 picks. Derrick Henry was kind of held in check. I love the Titans' offense, but their defense is sorry. They have no pass rushing ability. Even with Jadeveon Clowney there now, even though he's hurt, even when he was there early in the season, they had no pass rushing. Their DBs are sorry this year. Dory Jackson's been out most of the year. I love the Titans a lot, man, but I have to put the Bills over them in my power rankings. When I come out, I'm gonna release them. Not release them, but I'm gonna say it in a few minutes. But yeah, I love the Titans a lot, man. Their defense is atrocious. And if the offense can't get going, they cannot stop anybody. In the show yesterday, Devontae Adams went crazy, AJ Dillon went crazy, and the new MVP, Aaron Rodgers, sealed the deal yesterday. He will be the MVP for sure now. Missed 4 throws, 1 pick. He's been played great all year. Here's Stats Sports. We don't care about stats, but these are a couple of his stats. And I think the MVP is locked up now. Passing stats for Aaron Rodgers: 44 touchdowns, first in the league, 4,059 yards, fifth in the league, 119.4 passer rating, first in the league, 70.3 completion percentage, second in the league, 32 touchdowns in the red zone, no interceptions, 5 interceptions altogether, 12-3 record, top team in the NFC, easily the MVP. And the argument I've been seeing is he's the best player on the best team, playing the best right now, and I can't talk, and I agree with that. Now on to my power rankings. Going number 1. I agree he's the MVP. I agree the Packers are playing the best right now, but the Chiefs are still here. They're number 1 still. I know it's on a week-to-week basis. But as I said earlier, I think my first power ranking came out week 7. You have to beat the champions, and the Chiefs, to me, have not beaten themselves all year. In the overall, they lost a couple games to the Raiders. I think they had 2 close games. The Raiders lost 1. Lost a couple games they should have won, in my opinion. But that happens. You're gonna lose a game or 2. But the Chiefs are the Chiefs still. They haven't took a dive. They haven't had an off year. I have to give them the number 1 spot still. They still are good. They have their off games here and there. But I believe if the Packers and the Chiefs meet in the Super Bowl, and it probably will happen, it'll be a very good game. The Packers defense to me is better, but I just believe in Pat Mahomes a little bit more than I believe in Aaron Rodgers right now. That sounds crazy. But I definitely just think Pat Mahomes has that magic touch right now that can't be shook off him. I don't care how good the Smith brothers are come off the edge. Not brothers, but the Smith pass rushers for the Packers. I like Jair Alexander. I like the whole team. The Packers are a complete team this year. They've lacked running games. Some years they lack receivers. They lack pass rushing. They lack defense. This year they're a complete team. But I just think when it's all said and done, the Chiefs are crafty enough. Pat Mahomes, Andy Reid are creative enough. Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce are dominant enough to make it to get to get the win. To be honest, it should be a good match though if it does happen. But one, Chiefs. Two, very very close are the Packers. Three, the Buffalo Bills. Four, I'm torn between the Saints and the Bucks. I'm gonna probably go with the Saints for right now. But Drew Brees hasn't really played that well. No, even though they beat the Vikings 52-33, Alvin Kamara played great. That's more to me Alvin Kamara and the Vikings sorry defense. We saw Drew Brees came back last week, looked atrocious against the Chiefs. Still win the game though. The Chiefs weren't too dominant in that game, but I'm just believing a little bit more in Drew Brees, and the defense to me is more better. The defense for the Saints is better right now than the Bucks. The offenses, if Brees can get going, it's pretty close, even with all the weapons the Bucks have. But that defense stand out for the Saints a little bit more than the Bucks do, a whole lot more actually. With Cam Jordan, who don't get enough credit for being a great defensive end, can stop the run, pass rush. Davis and linebacker, Marshawn Lattimore and those boys in the DB area, their defense is good. And if you can get Mike Thomas back, can he come back? Let me see. Mike Thomas, how bad is he hurt? I don't think he played against the Vikings, did he? See, Mike Thomas, is he returning anytime soon? Let me see. I have no clue, to be honest. That's the wrong Mike Thomas. Mike Thomas for the Bengals. Okay. Let me see. Michael Thomas. Okay, he'll miss the final 3 games because of a lingering ankle injury. He's been playing through the injury since week 9. Okay, so he might be back for the playoffs, potentially, depending on how bad the injury is. But yeah, I think the Saints, to me, are a little bit better than the Bucks. So I have number 1 Chiefs, number 2 Packers, 3 Bills, 4 Saints, 5 Bucks, 6 Titans. That's really it for real, to be honest. That's the real contenders list. After that, you get to the pretenders, maybe the Seahawks. I have them contender/pretender as of right now. But the Seahawks, you get to the Seahawks, and then you get to the the Steelers, Ravens, those guys. I think they have an outside shot at it. But the real contenders for me are the Chiefs, Packers. Well, I go to AFC first. Chiefs, Bills, and potentially Titans. Then you have the NFC, Packers, Saints, and Bucks. That's where the list stops at for me. So top 6. But yeah, to me is easily right now the Chiefs and the Packers. But I can see the Bucks getting hot. It is Tom Brady, and it all depends on the matchup, But if you're going to Aaron Rodgers, you're going to Lambeau in the snow with that great running game, and Aaron Rodgers playing lights out, it's gonna be tough to beat them boys. It's gonna be tough, and Aaron Rodgers rarely beats himself. You know what I'm saying? And we'll see what happens. But I don't see anyone right now coming into Lambeau in the heavy snow and beating the Packers. I don't see it happening, man, to be honest. The Bucks, with their loss of what's the running back name they lost? Jones. With Ronald Jones being gone, I believe for the year, Leonard Fournette hasn't even rushed for 50 yards a game, if I'm not mistaken, since then. He's rushed for like 20, 30, 10 attempts, stuff like that. He hasn't really broke free. And him going to Lambeau in that snow gonna be even worse, So I know they beat the Packers early on, but I don't see that happening again unless something changes for the Bucks. But we'll see, man. But that's really it for the NFL. Let's see. Any breaking news? So I got all the storylines really. Dwayne Haskins, Aaron Rodgers MVP. Gave you my NFL power rankings. Let's see. Gave you a preview of tonight. Recap the other games for Week 16. I think that's it, man. To be honest, let me look at some. I'm going to Bleach Report real quick and look at some news. I've spoken on Juju Smith dancing enough. I did a video on it. I did a podcast episode on it, so I'm not going to go into it again. But basically, as long as you play well, you can do what you want. If Stephon Diggs, AJ Brown, Devontae Adams, if they want to dance on somebody's logo, I'm cool with it. I'm not tripping. But Juju Smith had a sorry year so far. Can't do it. Can't do it. He played well yesterday. 9 catches for 96 yards and a touchdown. I think the game-winning touchdown. But he got to do a little bit more for me to like him. Then not let him. He can do what he want to do. He's a grown man. He a millionaire. But he can for me to like him for the dancing on logo. So, but he did play well yesterday, so I will acknowledge that. But he's kind of had a down last 2 years, to be honest. So we'll see what happens with him in free agency. I believe he's a free agent this year. I don't think the Steelers extended him this last offseason. I don't think they did. So he might be a free agent this offseason. My voice is like leaving me. That's it, man, to be honest. I'm just scrolling down Bleacher Report to see, make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, that's really it, man. Ready for the playoffs, to be honest. Ready for the playoffs. Can't wait for that. But yeah, that's it, guys. Don't forget, follow Stats Free Sports everywhere. Social media handle at Stats Free Sports on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, all social media sites at Stats Free Sports. Don't forget to follow, like, subscribe to the Stats Free Sports YouTube channel, Stats Free Sports podcast on all major podcast platforms except for Pandora and iHeartRadio right now. But they are in the works. Hopefully be up there by the end of February. Or maybe by the end of January, early February, hopefully to be on those two platforms. But that's it, guys. I will see you guys probably, what's today, Monday, probably Wednesday for NBA live stream only. So my NBA guys, be around the same time, 8:30 Wednesday night, maybe a little early. I'm off. Yeah, I'm off of my jobs Wednesday, so might do it early in the day, to be honest. But we'll see, man. But that's it for the video, guys. I will see you guys next time.